Justin Trudeau announced this week the controversial Trans Mountain Pipeline will get the green light, the go-ahead, after a 9-month delay forced by the Federal Court of Appeal. More consultations with Indigenous people and new environmental assessments have been done, leading to the green light decision. But immediately, various groups have now threatened more legal challenges and more protests. So, will construction really start this summer, like the Prime Minister says? Let's find out. Joining me now is the Natural Resources Minister, Amarjeet Sohi. Minister, great to have you on the program.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
The green light was given. Yeah. I just want to reaffirm this. The shovels will go in the ground on this pipeline this summer?
So as you may have noted that National Energy Board already issued the certificate to start the construction. And based on the information that has been provided by the Trans Mountain Corporation, construction can start in September. But prior to the construction, there will be work to prepare for the construction. For example, I was in Edmonton, my hometown, on Wednesday. I went to the terminal site of the pipeline, met with the workers and contractors and some of the other folks who were there. They're ready to start the work on the expansion of the terminal as well as.
So the summer, meaning September, just before the election. What if there's more court challenge? There have been some Indigenous groups that want to challenge. The mayor of Vancouver said if there's another legal challenge, he will join. The premier of BC said, our legal challenge may be done, but if there's another challenge, we'll support it. Could that hold up the pipeline again?
We followed the clear guidance from the Federal Court of Appeal ruling of August 30th, 2018. We have done extensive consultation with Indigenous communities, and we have offered and are offering very comprehensive accommodation measures to deal with communities' concerns from protection of fish, rivers, water, marine safety, marine mammals, a better response to spill. We feel very comfortable, as well as Justice Yokobuchi, who oversaw the consultation, stated that we have responded to the issues of the Federal Court of Appeal, that we have engaged in a two-way, meaningful conversation with Indigenous communities, and I feel very comfortable that we have discharged our duty to consult.
Minister, one of the knocks on your government is that you're a bunch of pleasers. You try to say yes to everybody, and one of the issues is, okay, you're going to have this pipeline, which your government now gave the green light, but all the money is going to go now, and all the profits, up to $500 million a year, will be invested into clean technology. One of the criticisms of that is you've used public money, $4.5 billion, to buy a pipeline, and now the profits of that are going to be used for corporate welfare. How do you justify the use of those profits?
Well, I reject that premise. These are the incremental growth in revenue that will happen because of the building of this pipeline. This is an investment in Canadians. This is an investment in middle class workers.
But who gets the money from it? I'm just trying to figure out. You say clean technology, so is it industry that's getting the money? Who gets that money from the public investment in this pipeline?
So when you talk about accelerating to clean and green economy, what are you talking about? Investment in renewables, investments in new technologies, investment into non-emitting electricity, or providing incentives for Canadians to make better choices.
Okay, but it's Canadians. But your government was criticized for giving some millions of dollars to a profitable company like Loblaws to shift to green technology. There's a lot of criticism. I'm just trying to get at this. The public invests $4.5 billion in a pipeline. Now whatever profits, $500 million a year, come from that, if it actually gets built, will go to more technology. My question, who gets that money? Is it going to be profitable companies? Is it going to be the average Canadian? Who gets that money?
It will go to initiatives that will allow us to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. But I want to correct you on one thing. You said if it gets built. This pipeline will get built. We gave approval to this pipeline because this is in the public interest. 99% of the oil we sell to one single customer, the United States. If we are able to expand our markets, we get a better value for our oil, and that's the incremental growth of $500 million that we will use.
Okay, now let me ask you about that. In the current Trans Mountain Pipeline, we already ship 300,000 barrels of oil a day, and it all goes to the United States, and your government keeps saying it's sold at a discount. But we don't sell our existing oil to China. I think we sold 2 years ago, 600 barrels of oil to China. It's not like there's a big market. They don't have the refineries, the complex refineries for our bitumen that we're shipping. A lot of folks say there is no Asian market for this if we build this. That stuff's going to go to the refineries in Washington, the refineries in California, and you're still going to sell it to the United States. What's your response to that?
But because on the existing pipeline, vast majority of the oil that is going is already under contract for long-term contracts with the refineries that the shippers already signed with. There's very discretionary room in the existing pipeline to send oil to China or other countries.
But you have to refine it.
No, that's why this expansion is important. With this expansion, 80% of the oil that flow through this new expanded pipeline is already booked for by the shippers. So this is a very commercially viable project that will reap benefits for the Canadians.
So you don't need to refine it here in Canada or ship it to California. You're saying that 80% of the expanded pipeline, which would triple capacity, is already booked to ship to markets like Asia?
It is already booked by shippers, keeping in mind.
Go where? Okay.
They have customers.
Okay.
They have contracts with the.
And there's no discount. So Canada will see higher revenues for that.
Oh, absolutely. That's the whole purpose of building this pipeline, is that we want to get better value for our resources and use those revenues to accelerate the transition to clean and green economy.
Minister, I got to leave it there. I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
That is Minister Sohi.